What's up, everybody, and welcome to Build Your Empire podcast. Your host, Chris Marshall, my buddy next to me, Frank G. What's good?
What's going on, Chris? How's it going?
Not bad. Of course, I got my glass filled up of nice Sauvignon Blanc on this Monday. This Monday has been a pretty up and down, crazy Monday thus far.
Yeah, I would agree. I did get to spend some time in the beautiful sun that I am thankful for outside my house, but it
It
has
was
been
a
eventful.
beautiful day.
Yeah, it was eventful in regards to work. Everybody has been going on now, or most of the population, 4 weeks without being at their job location. And some changes started happening, a lot of unemployment being scheduled or, you know,
Which
taken out.
we'll get right into. But Frank G, don't forget to put that timer on. Ladies and gentlemen who are listening, once the timer goes off, 15 minutes from this moment is when we sign off and our 30 for 30 podcasts in 30 days. This is day 6,
Yes,
and we
sir.
are still rocking. And sorry to cut you off, but yeah, I mean, same thing's been going on with my company with all those layoffs and furloughs and payment reductions.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of makes sense that was eventually going to happen, with all the businesses operating at like 80% of their original capacity.
80%. There,
Well,
some of
eighty
them are
percent
operating at
less.
40%. Yes, 80% less. It's incredible when you probably go to the balance sheets and look at the numbers.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, for my job, my company, Ferragamo, there is very few stores in the entire world that are open. I think in the Japan, like Korea area, there's maybe like one or two. Anything in America is completely closed. So the only revenue the company is making is off of online purchases, e-commerce.
And I work at a company called On Deck Capital, where we provide business loans to small business owners. So you could only imagine the challenge and the problems that are currently uh, just coming up out of nowhere.
Yeah, I could see anybody. Well, one, I could see many people not trying to take out a loan with interest, and
They're not
also
trying to
people.
pay back their loan.
Yeah, I was gonna say also people that have loans out are probably having a predicament with paying them back in the rate that are supposed to be.
Yeah, and now the government is issuing 10,000 unforgiven grants essentially to business owners where you don't need to pay it back. And I was diving into this with Ankit, who was on the show a couple of episodes ago.
Shout out on.
And shout out to Ankit. I guess it makes sense. You pay a business owner 10,000, excuse me, you don't expect nothing back, and that is to maintain your employees, because if you fire them, then you got to pay them unemployment.
Yeah, I there's a ton of technical terms, I'm sure, and things that are going on. I mean, a lot of companies are relying on them getting paid by the government in certain situations, and I believe the didn't the government announce something about a $2 trillion payout, or I forget the terms.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of stimuluses going on right
Hmm.
now. The majority of Americans should be getting a $1,200 paycheck within the next couple of weeks. I don't think we are eligible for one. However, at the same time, we should be thankful for that. Um, Although it would be nice to get one.
Yeah, to my understanding, actually, about that was it's not going to be that we are ineligible completely. I think we're eligible for a reduced amount. For every amount over, I think it was 75,000 that you make, like every $100, your stimulus package goes down $5. That's what I was reading.
Correct. However, I mean, again, I don't know what you make, but I'm fortunate where if you made over 95,000, um, you're not subjected to get any of that.
Well, I don't know if is that including commission or if I'm thinking that's just a base salary.
It goes off your tax returns.
Oh, that's
So
right, 2019
yeah,
tax return.
and they're basing it off your 2018 tax returns. However, they're gonna check your 2019 tax returns, and if you did well then, I believe you are gonna have to pay it back at some point. So it's
Mm.
almost irrelevant to even receive it, for me at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thankful to still be getting paid by the company.
That's what I'm saying. Except, a week and a half ago, I took a 20% pay cut. Today, I just took like a 20% pay cut. I don't know how many more pay cuts I can take.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they're not just doing that until it's eventually nothing, right?
Yeah, but I'm still out here in here, my man.
Yes, I am also out here in here, still doing what we do, coming to you guys every day, still working every day with our companies. I was certainly on a couple conference calls with my employees and also the CEO. Obviously, a lot going on that needs to be
Certainly a
discussed.
lot going on. So I am talking to a buddy of mine. His name is Jared Brown, who will be a guest on our show most likely this week or next. And we have an interesting history. My first job ever, I was going door to door selling roof siding and windows. It was just me and him as the trainee prospects. He was terrible, awful, Frank G,
Okay.
awful. I just remember he was so bad. He was nervous. And then as soon as we went live and we went in the field and started our job after the training, he was the best in the company and he accelerated almost quicker than anyone I have ever seen. It taught me such a lesson right off the bat at a young age.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference, obviously, between learning things and then going through test runs and then actually applying it in the field where you can kind of tweak it. And I think you're more comfortable doing it on the field as opposed to maybe rehearsing your sales pitch to
Eh,
like your boss.
I can see what you're saying, and in a way, I guess I'm almost reverse, kind of. I don't know. It was just amazing to see. I was so bad, and he was so good, and he dominated. Where vets were asking him, what is he doing? And we've always stayed in touch because we just had that friendship in the sense we entered the workforce at the same time together, right?
Hmm.
And he ended up leaving that company to create a similar company. I was just speaking to him right before I got on here, trying to schedule dates and how we structure our podcast. He was saying how in 3 months, 2020, he ramped up 2.2 million, and now he's not working due to the current economic climate. I cannot wait to hear the story.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty big ordeal there. It seems. Oh, I remember that company I that you were talking about. Power.
I got you an interview. That would have been fun.
That would have been interesting. Yeah, that definitely, not gonna lie, seemed like a really shitty job. Um,
Yeah, but it built character.
yeah, I could see that for sure. I mean, walking in the snow and the rain, door to
Boots, man.
door.
I was walking in the snow 6 days a week. It could have been 3 feet of snow. I had hand warmers, gloves. I had six pair of pants, knocking on doors. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was tough.
yeah, yeah. That's the beginning stages of the sales career, huh? I mean, I guess it also started with proactive for you, but that was probably the first real one.
Correct. I would say that was my first real one. Proactive was, it was more retail. I just sat there, which was probably the best job I ever had.
Hmm.
But for anyone who's listening who's like in college, I mean, I was going to school to finish my last class on Saturday and took my first full-time job. It sucked.
Yeah, well, we all went through those phases where we were trying to get an education, and we also like to make money. So
We always did find a way to make money. However, I don't think all of us went through. I mean, man, you had like five jobs at one point. I was interning with a job, going to school, and then having side hustles.
Yeah, I certainly did have 5 jobs at one point. But that's because back in the day, what was minimum wage? Like at most $8 when we were like young.
Yeah, I got fired from Carvel because one, I was not allowing my boss to take my tips when my tips were like $10. Like you can't. Like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, I remember him like counting pennies. I'm like, he's like, well, the draw is short a little bit. I'm like, what? You gonna take my pennies for my tips?
That guy was a real asshole.
He was a character and a half. Oh boy.
I wish I could see him one day and call him an asshole.
See, I don't know if I at this point it's like so far in the
It is what it
distance.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, there's so many people that have like just looked at me in such a way where I would love to look at them and call them an asshole.
Yeah, I felt that way about my second grade teacher.
Whoa, we go way back.
Yeah, I mean that's the strongest memory of these moments I have where she thought I had a learning disorder because I was I don't know, how old are you in second grade? And I didn't like school. I hated school. I was forced to sit and learn about, I don't know, a bunch of crap. I wanted to be home with my family and friends. But yeah, I remember her like making a huge ordeal about it, thinking I needed to see a doctor. And then I seen
Yeah.
her once outside when I was in high school. I was passing that school
Ooh,
going home, and I was with my buddy John, and I we wanted to give her the finger. We were in the same class.
ooh.
We wanted to give her the finger, but when it came down and we are passing her, we just decided to wave to her, man. And she, you
You
know
would
what?
have you would have proved her right if you gave her the finger at that time.
She was happy. The smile on her face that we waved to her and she waved back. I'm just
Oh, met the world. See, people always forget, man. People always forget.
yeah, certainly ain't gonna isn't gonna remember something that happened 15 years ago with her. I mean, she was also an older teacher. I think when I had her, she was in her 60s, so in her 70s at the time. But yeah, I obviously that smile made her happy. Probably she's like, "Oh, this is one of my old students who appreciated me."
Well, you didn't appreciate her, but
No,
then again, you do remember her.
I'd
And
certainly remember her. My sister was going to get her. We're 10 years apart. She was actually given that teacher, and my mom fought to change that.
hilarious,
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
And I don't have no real, I guess, bitter resentment towards anyone because I'm killing life. So there's no point in hating. But I will tell you you're an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, if it's all current and relevant, certainly I'll call you out.
Yeah,
But
well, you also fired me for trying to be a good worker. Like, you're an asshole. I'll tell you you're an asshole.
yeah, I mean, they also fired me at Carvel, and I thought I was the great worker, but I was
I
also
mean, they
fed
had
up with the job.
cockroaches.
Yeah, I was also just fed up. You know, when you hit that point with one of those kind
Yeah,
of
you're just
jobs,
like, F it.
you
I
just
tell
want
you
to move
what, though,
on.
man. What's amazing is I've gotten fired from half my jobs I've had, but every single job I've had, I literally have stumbled upon a way better job.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was my only job that I was fired from, but every time I left a position, I always found something better. Um, that just seems to be part of a winning mindset. I mean, you're not going to leave a job you don't like to get paid at another job that you might not like.
I don't know. When I look back at my history, I really laugh at interviews I've had. I once walked out on a job midday when one of the bosses was like, "Hey, Chris, we want to get you more leads and we want you to sell more." I was like, "Nope, I'm out." And I left just 2 o'clock midday.
There's there's a lot of detail that seems to be left out of that one, but yeah, I mean,
I waited for like this paycheck that like I was waiting on for 2 weeks from a partner visit. Like some other
mhm.
company came in, they gave me a $200 gift card. I was like, I told my mentor Justin, my buddy Justin, I was like, Justin, as soon as I get this $200, I'm leaving.
I'm out.
And as soon as I got it, as soon as they left, all right, I was out.
He was probably surprised you have followed through with
I
that one.
actually did it. Yeah, dude. I walked outside. I was getting ready to go to the bus to come home. He's like, don't leave. And he met me outside. He's like, whoa. I was like, yo, I was fed up. Fuck them.
Yeah, that happens, man. I mean, I'm glad you were able to realize you weren't happy there and found
Not
something
that,
better.
man. Is I work so hard, and if someone doesn't appreciate me, like I had a record-selling month, I made pennies. But not only that, um, I was there for about 8 months, and the
Mhm.
company, the owner, hosted a Christmas party, and only invited like a third of the office, and did not invite me.
That
I
makes
thought that
absolutely no sense as a CEO or a business owner.
yeah, it was a small office, there was like 40, 30 people. And I just, did $300,000 worth of sales for you. And I've been here for 6 to 8 months. How dare you not invite me?
I mean, how underappreciated would anybody feel if they were not invited to
Yeah.
it's
And
a work
nah,
Christmas party?
I'm not that guy, dude. You know what? Give me my cash. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. I mean, that certainly doesn't seem like a way to treat your employees and make them happy. That's one.
It don't matter. I left. I got a job like a week later, which was funny how that happened. I ended up being a manager to like 5 people, teaching them how to train until I got fired from that job. I tell you what, though, we were living large when I had that job. I was making cash. We took limos and AC. We had tables. We were partying.
Oh man, we have partied nice and hard.
Yeah, that night fucked me up.
Oh,
Oh, that's the alarm already?
that is the alarm. 15 minutes on the clock has already
15
struck.
minutes on the clock. You know the deal. We bring a podcast to you once per day, every day for the month of April. We're going to go with a sign out message. Frank G, you have a sign out message for the people?
Thank you guys for rocking with us. Everybody, as you know, we are doing this 30 for 30 challenge at April as we are all quarantined at home, trying to be safe. Thank you for tuning in, and we cannot wait to present you with another episode tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Many of you are quarantined, but me and my buddy Frank G, we are the quarantine. I'm outie.
Ah, that's my boy.